the scalpel today. Unfortunately, Dr. Zamani is away. But I thought you and I will be able to do this without any problem.
Totally.
How's life in quarantine?
Oh, it's been okay. I mean, we're all adapting to a brand new work reality. We're so used to being out there and seeing people in person, and really doing everything now through webinar is something that we're getting used to, but really adjusting. So it's been nice because there's so many learnings that come with it.
For sure. I mean, we were talking about, one of the things we were going to talk about today is how we look on Zoom. And I have a confession.
Okay.
I kind of forgot I was doing this today. So I got dressed this morning. I knew I had to do some virtual consults. I didn't put makeup other than eyeliner on. I grabbed some lipstick just now because, you know what? I'm wearing a mask 90% of the time. So I'm like, okay, well, why do I have to do that? And then I got here and the girls go, it is Monday and you're doing that thing. And I'm like, okay. So you'll have to forgive me, but we have never spent so much time. I know I should be looking at you, but I'm looking at me like, oh my God, are my hair out of place? Like, I look so bad.
I know.
Like, we're all looking at ourselves. Like, we're not looking at the other person.
We're really not.
We should do a test. Put everyone on Zoom, like put 5 people on and say, name what so-and-so's shirt color is, and make it like ridiculous, and nobody will know because they're too busy looking at themselves.
That's exactly it. People are so concerned with how they look and how they're coming across on camera that they're not paying attention to anybody else.
Exactly. And I think that's really been hard on a lot of us. Well, but before we get there, before we go to the hard stuff, tell me the weirdest thing you've done on Zoom. Like the weirdest party you've had on Zoom or the weirdest event you've had on Zoom.
Oh my God. The weirdest thing so far. Well, I mean, we definitely had a conference call with everybody putting their pets on and acting as if they're their pets.
Okay, that's weird.
I have a huge dog at home who loves to be on camera. He's this gigantic Bernese Mountain Dog. And every time you ask my dog a question, he tilts his head. So I can literally just put him in front of the camera. And you can ask him anything, and he'll sit there going like this with you for a whole half an hour. So we did that once with the coworkers, and they were having a field day with him.
Well, that's pretty weird. I don't even have anything that good. I mean, I had a cocktail party, and I've talked about this before, and I have really crazy friends that you already know.
Yes.
But Ann Kaplan from iFinance and married to Dr. Steve Mulholland, and a brilliant woman, put up cards saying, how did you guys introduce me into this guy? She goes, we're doing great here. We're doing great in quarantine. And then she put the sign up saying, help. I blame all of you. It was like we were in tears. And then another really great friend, dermatologist extraordinaire, Dr. Arthur Swift, was on the same call, and we were doing cocktails. So he showed up in a tux, except he got up and he was wearing his tighty whities when he got up. So we all just fell over, died laughing. Like,
absolutely,
just so much fun. It's kind of fun. And we did a graduation yesterday. My son got his MBA, and my daughter's boyfriend got his MBA, and we had a commencement speech by one son. They'd done this whole video montage of, the family members who had MBAs giving advice with music and crazy pictures. It was so awesome. Awesome.
That is the amazing thing to come out of everything is now we're so much more connected. We're adapting. We're able to still do these types of big events like graduations virtually and digitally. And it still is that feel good type of moment. So we haven't really lost that type of connection.
Well, in some ways, I think, my mom said, she goes, I wouldn't have been able to go to each grad because you only have 2 tickets or whatever. She goes, I like this way better.
Yeah, totally. And in some ways, we're more connected than ever before.
Well, it was funny. My daughter and my other son and my eldest daughter, they made certificates for them from the University of Zoom, because that's really what they graduated from, was the University of Zoom.
Yeah.
So, Chloe, when we're all learning little tricks while we're staying at home and being on Zoom. And right now my phone is on a paper towel roll to get the right height. And I have a light, and I am terrible at this technology, but I'm learning. So Dr. Z is the younger one who's told me, okay, make sure the light's not behind you, make sure it's in front of you. She made me get a ring light. So that really, really, really helped. Having the height right. So, you know, when you're 54, you don't accentuate anything you don't want to accentuate. That really, really helped. And just being aware, I think lighting probably is the biggest thing I've learned now about Zoom. And don't overdo it. Like, if you don't wear makeup, don't wear makeup. It's okay. You're not on stage. You're not getting an Oscar. You know, be yourself. Because I think if you try too much the other way and it's really different from you, you're not going to feel natural and you're not going to look very natural.
You're not going to feel authentic to who you are. So you definitely have to still look like yourself. And yeah, there are those little tips and tricks that come into play, like the lighting, super important. Like if you have a downcasted lighting right here, you're going to look like a really bad rendition of The Godfather, right? Whereas if you have it forward facing, it helps to take away.
I adopted that trick really fast. Like, didn't take a second of hesitation. I'm like, I'm in.
Like, you can look like 3 totally different people.
Oh my God. Okay, you're younger. If anyone's going to do it, you're going to do it, but I'm not going to do it.
I'm not gonna
with moving the lights.
Oh, no. I look like I gained 50 pounds if it goes like this way.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So, you know, we're all staying at home. And we are giving our skin a break, because if we look at what harms our skin, UV, right? So hopefully we're getting some sunshine, not with our weather right now. But we're not getting a lot of that. But pollutants, we're not out there. So that's pretty awesome. Makeup, we're giving our skin a bit of a break. That's why I kind of forgot to put it on, because I don't put it on most OR days anyways. And now, like, consult days are the same because I'm still wearing a mask. So it's like, oh yeah, might as well just do it like the regular way. So what else are you, like, you know, SkinCeuticals? And for those who don't know who Chloe is, I should have told you that at the beginning. Sorry, Chloe. Chloe is our master teacher from SkinCeuticals, who's one of our great partners and products that, if you've been in our office, you know we love. SkinCeuticals is L'Oreal, owned by L'Oreal, so a name we all respect and know in the beauty industry. And they're very lucky because they can put that powerhouse behind everything they do and do the education and do the research and really check things out, which is one of the reasons we really have loved partnering with you at SkinCeuticals. And they go from basics. They go from L'Oreal, buy it at Shoppers Drug Mart, to medical grade SkinCeuticals, to the other extreme, which is Dose, which is so exciting, which we'll talk about that today too. We got it there for you. So, you know, it's pretty cool. So Chloe's one of our master educators. She works to teach myself, Dr. Sapra, and our team, and always is keeping us on what's new and exciting. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to ask you, what are you doing for your skin? Because you've got access to everything. What are you doing for your skin? Because you look Chloe. You look Chloe.
That's why my handle's that Glow.
That's right.
No, I mean, you know what? I've really taken advantage of this period being social distanced to do a retinol challenge. For so long, I had been a little bit scared of retinol. I had some, well, not some, but quite a few flakes happen in the past. Very sensitized towards it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use this time to really push through it, go through that adjustment period, push through the flaking, push through the redness, because who cares what I look like right now? And I really did that. I took about 4 to 5 weeks to push through a retinol adjustment period, and now I'm reaping all the benefits of it. There's no more redness, there's no more flaking. You're just left with really smooth, even looking skin tone. And I feel like now that I'm self-adjusted to retinol, the makeup that I do sits even better than before. So
it's funny, I did that too, actually. I have retinol in my bag and in my bedroom, and I keep going, oh, I can't afford to be red today. I can't afford to be red tonight, or or tomorrow morning. Oh, I got consults. I've got this. I've got an event, and I did that too. Like I keep ignoring my poor retin-A, and I said, okay, no, this is silly, and I'm just going to use it. Yeah. So, red skin, flaky skin be damned. I'm going to use it anyways. And that was really good. I agree with you. I think that really helped as well.
And I think we also can't discredit the importance still of using sunscreen while we're indoors, because some of these awesome tips and tricks that we've learned with being on screen is to have a light forward-facing use you mentioned earlier. But, you know, some of us, like me, I live in a super small Toronto house. I don't have the room to set up a ring light, so I've set myself up in front of a window. And we know that, you know, ultraviolet A can come through windows too, so still using a sunscreen is of equal importance now. So I think,
always.
always.
You know, and one of the things I really like about SkinCeuticals is, okay, I'm married to a derm. I know nothing. I'm terrible. And it took about 10 years for the girls to convince me to use something other than soap on my face. Okay? So like I'm not a good girl. I don't do that well. I've said that before. I'm not very fancy schmance. I like it easy. And one of the things that I really love the way SkinCeuticals does it is it breaks it down for people like me. Okay, first cleanse your face.
Yep.
Then I'm going to check prevent a problem.
You got it.
Correct a problem. And then protect it.
Yes.
Okay, I finally got it right. So, but I like that because it tells me the order you use products. Because one of the things I find so challenging is that I don't always know. And, you know, thank goodness the girls are here to consult with me and to say, number these products. But I find people really get lost with that they don't know, well, does the sunscreen go on first or does it go on last? And that's really, really a challenge. So give me like a highlight what people should know. When does the sunscreen go on? How do you put that order and make it work?
Our rule of thumb is keep it simple. So the rule of thumb for layering is thinnest to thickest texture. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. A lot of times the thinner the texture, the closer it goes because the smaller the molecular size in the formulation. So you want those to penetrate first. So that would involve something like your antioxidant water-based serum. Then you can apply a cream on top. And then sunscreen is always your finishing step. Always goes last. So if you follow that rule of thumb of thinnest texture to thickest texture and
that's a great rule.
Off with sunscreen. If you think of sunscreen kind of like your makeup before the makeup,
right,
can help with the application process.
And I think that's a good way of doing it because if your skin is, you're putting those thinner ones on, they're kind of more absorbed and they're gone. They're not like doing anything there. So you don't have to worry about working them in too much. You know, I don't know the answer to this question, but I kind of believe this. Do you think there's a time limit after you wash your face that you should put your products on?
Only if somebody is severely dry. I believe in very dry skins needing to put on a moisturizer right away so that a ton of water doesn't evaporate from the skin and they don't become further dry. But in terms of this time between products being applied, I think that whole thing's a little bit of a myth. The only other thing where I have noticed a slight way where products can affect one another is with retinol absorption, because I just did this retinol challenge. I was trying to figure out ways where I could slowly build up the tolerance. And in doing that time period of testing, I discovered that if you mix retinol into creams, like our Triple Lipid Restore, it can help to buffer the efficacy. Or if you apply retinol on clean skin and then immediately cover it with a cream, it can also help to buffer the efficacy and buffer the side effects. Whereas if you put retinol just on straight skin, you're going to get the most amount of retinol being delivered.
Right.
So there's slight ways you can customize it, but on the whole, no, I don't really believe in a time period between applications. What about you, Dr. K?
Well, you know, I think a lot about it is moisture. So a lot of women, as they get older, it is the moisture factor. So I do think you're right. We always have to remember no moisturizer is really moisture. It locks in moisture. So I think there's an advantage, especially when you're older or if you have a tendency towards dry skin, to get your product on within the first 5 minutes after you showered. I do think it on your body, on your face, wherever it is, because then you're locking in that moisture. But I also love that, I love the idea of using things like microneedlers, things that are helping you take whatever product you've got and getting better efficacy out of them because they're getting into your skin. So we have a layer of skin called the stratum corneum, which is very, very thick. And, you know, when you put in a lot of product, you got to break that product past that thickness layer. And if you're using that microneedler, every product we've just talked about, any product is going to work better. Because it's almost like, you know, everyone thinks like you're going to roll this, like, it looks like an aerator, like you do your lawn.
Totally.
And they think they're going to draw blood. Okay, you're not drawing blood. If you're drawing blood, we have a problem. That's a medical procedure. That's not this. So microneedling, and then you'll find you should use less product as well, because you're actually going to get so much better result from the same product.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys, you sell those professional micro rollers too. I think like the one thing we don't want patients to do is to go on Amazon and buy those kinds of like cheapy micro rollers that they can get, but it really needs to see you guys for those professional ones that they can be using at home.
And also the cleaning supplies and stuff like that, because we got to remember, we got to keep it clean. That's a really good one. I saw a good tip. You should be washing your makeup brushes when you're at home right now.
Yes, okay. Take advantage. And top tip is use your face cleanser to wash your makeup brushes.
Oh,
don't be using things like Palmolive soap or things like that. That can actually destroy the makeup bristles. And why I also like your face cleanser to wash those makeup brushes is that your skin doesn't react to your face cleanser.
That is a great tip.
Right? So then you won't be, if there is any chance of residue being left behind on those makeup brushes from the cleanser that you're using, at least this is something safe for the skin. But that's where the nice thing about SkinCeuticals can double in with. Like, I absolutely love their sunscreen called Physical Fusion. Everybody always thinks I wear foundation, and I'm like, no guys, it's just Physical Fusion, because that has a tint to it. I don't like the makeup, like the makeup-y look. So just by applying a product like this that has a little light tint to it, it evens out the skin tone, makes you look fine. I don't have to worry about applying foundation on top, and it just makes everything look that much better without feeling like I'm doing a makeup step.
Well, you know what? It's interesting that you use that, because I use that sometimes. But when I use it, when I remember, I'm getting much, much better. But you're so light, and I got good brown skin, and it still doesn't make me look pasty, which I hate. So one of the reasons I've hated I love my kids when they used to tell me when they were little, don't make me look purple. Don't make me look purple. They hated sunscreen because they look purple or stripy, and that one doesn't do that at all.
Yeah, it's really that tint that's inside of the formulation. It does a pretty good job of matching a lot of skin tones. I will say, if anybody's a little bit darker than you, Dr. K, it probably won't match. But if you're within that range between being like a Fitz 1 to like a light Fitzpatrick 4, it can blend in pretty well to most skin types.
And even if you're a little darker, if you're putting a little bit of powder on top, it's gone. It's just not that thick, chalky thing, so it won't stay for very long. So that's a good thing anyways.
Yeah.
But so we're doing our Retin-A challenge. We're washing our makeup brushes. We're adjusting our light. And by the way, my ring light is this big. It's nothing fancy. Like, I've got my girlfriends who've got like the big reflectors. I got nothing like that. No. Nothing like that at all. No, it's like a tiny little Amazon ring light, and that's all I've got.
Yeah.
The other thing for Zoom, we forgot to say earpieces.
Yes.
Because when we started filming the Sisterhood of the Scalpel with Dr. Zamani, actually that's one of the things we forgot was audio quality. So if you're on a Zoom call, or if you're doing Instagram or anything like that, use some sort of headset, because it makes a big difference for the quality of sound. That's for sure. Sorry, I forgot that one.
No, and it's another one too, I think, is depending on the style of presenter that you are. Like, I'm the type of presenter where I really like to stand up and walk a room when I'm talking, and sitting down stationary doing these kinds of things is actually hard for me, because I like.
You see how much I wiggle?
So I actually just ordered a standing desk to come, so I can prop up my iPhone or laptop on a standing desk, so I have the freedom to move around and feel a little bit more natural.
I've got a life hack for you.
What?
I've got a great life hack for my daughter, Rocky. She set her ironing board on her balcony in Toronto, and that was her standing desk.
Such a good idea.
There you go. Life hack right there, 101. Man, how good is that?
That's perfect. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down into my basement right now after this call and set up this ironing board.
That's it. There's your standing desk, and it's got a lot more room than those standing desks, so you can have lots of space on there too. So thank you, Rocky, for that. That was a good one.
Thank you, Rocky. Saved me.
But okay, so we've done our retinol, we've cleaned our brushes, we've got our Zoom going. What else can we be doing?
I think we also need to work on whatever skin issues you're concerned about too. I mean, I think a lot of women right now are uncomfortable being on camera, and we really need to address why they might be uncomfortable being on camera. Is it the lighting issues that we were talking about? Is it not feeling confident in the makeup application? Is it a skin condition or a skin concern that we can look at treating?
I think one of the things I always want to say is women, I mean, men too, but women, we are so hard on ourselves, like really, really, really hard. And I wish I could take that away from all of us. And I'd like to tell you, I'm not like that. We're all like that. From when we're young girls, we think we have a zit. We're swear to God, the guy across the street can see it because it's like, I'd love to tell you as we mature, we stop that. We do not stop that. We are so hypercritical. And first thing I'm going to tell you is stop doing that. And if you figure out how to stop doing it, tell me so I can stop doing it too. But you know what? There are things that we can improve. And if I look at as what are the biggest things when we're looking at skin is tone, color, texture, right? So Retin-A is really getting that texture, making it feel smoother. But coloration is a biggie, right? Too red,
yep,
or too brown, or both. A combination of all of them. And that can be from acne, or that can be from aging, from rosacea. It can be from so many things. So let's talk about red.
Sure.
And tell me, what do you think are some great options that maybe I can do at home right now for red and also preventative?
Well, I think before we start the redness conversation, I do want to give a caveat for all of those people that are joining in, because if you are like me and you're a Fitzpatrick 1 or 2 and you've got a Celtic background, you are naturally going to pull red. That is just the skin type. I hear so many women say like, oh, I'm pink, how do I hide the pink? That's your background. Like that's who you are, right? That's
like me in pigment. I'm gonna be pigmented. You've gotta embrace your beautiful uniqueness and let it shine.
Totally.
But there are times you're too red or you're too brown. So we got to deal with that.
For sure. And definitely it can affect the confidence. So are there things that we can be doing? Sure. There are things that we can be doing to help it. My biggest tip and trick is actually to use a product from SkinCeuticals called Phytocorrective Gel. It's a green serum. It's anti-inflammatory that has cucumber, thyme, and olive to help calm down any redness or irritation. But actually why I like it is you can use this pre-makeup application, or in my case, I use it before physical fusion, because this is kind of what I use as a foundation, right? This is your color corrector that goes underneath. That green in it really cancels out the red tone. It's the opposite color on the color wheel, so green will always cancel out red. So if you put a generous layer of this on before you apply a tinted mineral sunscreen, it just helps unify and even out that skin tone if you're pulling too red.
But it's not just covering it, it's actually helping it.
It's also helping it, right, by stopping the inflammation that's going on underneath the skin.
And we use that, Dr. Sapra and Dr. Zamani and I use that a lot post-procedures, where you get that redness and that pinkness. We really love it, and it comes in a mask as well, and a lot of patients feel that so soothing when they're healing as well.
Yeah, and actually a top tip too with the mask, Dr. K, is you can actually sleep with it on overnight. And if you sleep with that mask on overnight, you wake up the next morning and the skin looks dewy, it looks plump, it looks hydrated. So when you go in the next day with, say, your tinted sunscreen or a foundation, if you're taking that extra step, it helps everything look that much smoother.
I don't know, we did a sister to the scalpel on masks at the beginning of quarantine, and Dr. Z gets this green one that makes her look all glowy. I get the clay one, like my skin felt clean, I must admit, but I'm like looking like a freak, and she looks all beautiful and like so dewy, and I'm like, seriously, this is unfair. This is unfair. But yeah, no, she loved it. I mean, and she loved it. I had to go get it because I was a little bit jealous because she looked so good after that. But now I gotta leave it on all night.
Yeah, you have to sleep with it on. The other thing you can do with the clay mask too is the clay mask. A lot of people wash it off after 15 minutes, but a hot tip with that is you got to put on your favorite Netflix show and let that one cook for like an hour. If you let that clay mask sit for an hour, it gives the exfoliating properties inside of it a chance to become really, really effective, and the skin looks extra clear and extra bright the longer you leave it on.
Oh, that's a good tip. That's a good tip. So what else we're using for red? We're using the phytocorrective. We're using the masks.
And then, well, the other one that can kind of address both the red concerns as well as the brown pigment that we were talking about, and I know this is one of the favorites at ICLS, is one called discoloration defense.
Absolutely.
It's a serum that we recommend for cases of pigmentation, but there's an off-label recommendation to it as well. It contains a really high concentration of niacinamide at 5%. And we know niacinamide, when you hit those higher percentages of it, it's also a strong anti-inflammatory. So it can double to correct the brown pigmentation and also the redness in the skin. So this one kind of does double duty.
I love that one. That's one of the ones I actually do use because I got pigmentation, melasma-like pigmentation, not from pregnancy, but later from sun exposure. And that's one of the things that helped me correct that and keep that at bay as well. So I love that one a lot.
And are there any treatments that you would recommend for melasma?
Yeah, we do a lot because we do peels, but what we really love we have very, very gentle lasers. I keep calling it Luke Skywalker, but it's Star Walker. And that really helps remove the pigmentation. I just tell the girls, the Skywalker guy, Luke's laser. And that really, really helps. It's great even for scarring. I got a good road rash from being on one of our bicycle trips once in Italy where I skid out, and that really, really helped lighten that coloration with using discoloration defense.
Yeah,
and the nickname is Disco D around here. So Disco D and the laser combined really can help lighten up those things, and it makes a really, really nice difference.
Totally, and I think that's one of the most important takeaways for anybody tuning in is, if you're concerned with the redness or the brown pigmentation issues, it really takes that combination approach. You can't rely on just a product, and you also can't rely on just treatment. It really takes incorporating the skincare combined with the clinic procedures to get the best possible results.
Well, I think if you're looking at it, we can be more aggressive with the procedures and the lasers, but you need to keep going. And if you just do the one shot, it's kind of like working out. If you only go to one really tough workout class and you do nothing else once a month, you're not going to get a result. But if you go to a tough workout class, maybe you do that once a week, once every other week, and then you maintain it in between with running or exercising or your Peloton, whatever you've got, then that's going to help as well. And I want to add that as well, that for skincare, we can't forget good health and exercise is crucial.
Absolutely.
And your mental status. Those things are crucial for that.
Honestly, it all goes together, and I'm so glad you brought that up because I find so often people are relying on just a product to do it all, but It takes that holistic approach that you're talking about. It's the diet, it's the sleep, it's the exercise, it's the treatments that you invest in, it's the products that you invest in, and it all goes together. You can't just use one variable. They're all there.
Well, the other thing is, I think the key is the glow. Okay, we keep talking about the glow. You want your glow back, but that's an inside-outside thing. That's not just skin. That's feeling glowy. That's feeling like you've got glow. And you know what? Exercise and things like that can help. And I won't talk about what I ate this weekend for Mother's Day, so we won't go into that because that was there. Somebody just asked, is there anything we can recommend for preventing dark spots? And I think that the key is to treat them and then to maintain the results. So now I'm using the discoloration defense, even though my skin's a little bit more even now. I just use it every day because I know if I put that on and I put my sunscreen on, I'm going to be less likely to have those spots coming back. And my best friend's Italian, and she's the same. She gets these discoloration from the sun, and she's doing the same thing too. So even though we're totally different skin colorations, it works really, really well to maintain that even tone and prevent you from getting those brown spots that are often sun-related or zit-related or inflammation related. Like it's all those things.
And it's super smart that you're taking those steps too, because a lot of people start investing in pigmentation products once they've gotten pigmentation.
Yeah.
But what you're doing now that you've corrected your pigmentations, you're actually preventing it. And those pigmentation products are also preventative because they help to regulate everything involved in melanin production.
Absolutely. So melanin is hard. Red, we didn't talk about the treatments for red, but we have so many lasers for red. I mean, we have so many lasers that really can make a big difference. And it also depends on you and your downtime because I have some lasers that will get rid of actual veins, like big red spots. a little bit more dramatic downtime because you'll have a bruise. But I have other lasers that are just more of a gentle removal of red. It require multiple treatments. I would say to patients, downtime is result. Higher the downtime, higher the result. So that's why, you've got the skin spa that we're doing products and things, and you're going to get a nice result. And then we've got dermatology, we're a little more aggressive. Maybe we're doing injectables and things like that. You get a little more result. And then you're over here with me in surgery, and you get a way more result. But you've got to accept the downtime. No product is going to give you, no matter what they tell you on Insta, no product is a facelift. Exactly. It just doesn't exist. And if it did, we'd all be using it.
And you know what? You just gave me a huge aha moment too, because I find that philosophy of, the downtime equating to the efficacy or the results that you get can also kind of be translated into products, going back to that retinol challenge, right? Like, retinol does give you a little bit of downtime, the redness, the flaking.
For sure, gives you the result.
Gets you the result, right?
Absolutely. So we think like that, and then we also just think about consistency like we do with exercise. It's exactly the same thing. You need that consistency to keep going, for sure.
We have to have a moment. You mentioned Peloton earlier. Do you have a Peloton bike or tread at home?
So I happened, thank goodness, because he would have killed me otherwise, drove me crazy. Dr. Sapper is obsessed about yoga and biking and goes every day. And I happened to buy it for his birthday at the beginning of March, before all of this went down. He would have driven our entire family insane if I hadn't have done that. He is down there every day doing yoga or Peloton or bike. And I've become addicted. But I'm not on the bike. I am addicted to the boot camps. I love the boot camps. If anybody's been to a Barry's boot camp and love that, where I went, oh my God, I just spent more than I have ever spent in my life. The Peloton boot camps, and I think it's free for 3 months right now. Sign up. They are so good. I'm like pouring sweat at home. And I was like, I loved it. I love it.
Same. I'm addicted. So I don't have the bike or the tread, but I got the app. And the app is unbelievable on the iPad.
Good.
Oh my gosh. I've been doing these HIIT workouts for since the whole quarantine period started. And I've got like a booty now that I never had before, and I credit it all to Peloton.
I'm gonna shout out to Peloton. And my favorite, you gotta check her out, Chloe, is Jess Sims. She is so inspirational, such a badass, looks amazing, so strong, and so inspiring. She's really cool.
I love Jess Sims. Jess Sims and Rebecca too. Oh my God! Shout out to those women. They are champs. And
they are champs.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, I love it. See, there you go. I love the app. That's why I'm with you on that. I use my regular old treadmill, and I use the app. But you can run outside if you need to. It's not a big deal. You can do whatever you need. Mm-hmm. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that we can do all these things sitting at home.
It really is.
Now, we were talking about a lot about product. I'm just going to go back. I'm going to get yelled at. To remind everyone, you can call the office to buy any of these products. Any of your normal products, we do curbside pickup, no interaction, and Shopify will be open shortly. We're pretty excited about that. But for now, definitely feel free to call in and we can take care of you. And your skin products are all available there.
Awesome. And you have such a wonderful team that's there too, Dr. K, that can help to advise anybody on products if they're uncertain exactly what they need. So to book in for a consultation or to get some really great customized advice for those personalized routines, you guys, you really specialize in that.
I think this is really important because I think we get inundated with skincare at Shoppers, at the Bay, and we're like, we don't know. And I realize we think these guys have a lot of experience, and they really don't. Unfortunately, they know a little bit about their product, but they don't understand skin. So when you've got a skin spa nurse, Dr. Sapra, myself, professionals like Chloe, that are actually analyzing your skin and saying, okay, this is the disease process. This is rosacea. This is melasma. This is pigmentation. This is inflammatory. And sort of then picking and choosing for you what's right, it's critical. So we're starting your skin. We're doing skin consultations at Skin Spa now. So you can call the office and book an appointment for a spa consultation, and they'll take a photo, or they'll be on a virtual platform talking about your skin and picking the right things, because that's critical. And forgive me, Chloe, but it doesn't always have to be one product. Sometimes you're mixing and matching different ones. Mine is like a multicolor array that I use. I love my Disco D, but I like this one. And, and you can mix and match. Or I just want anti-aging. It's not even just about correcting a problem. It's preventing problems and getting that glow back. And whatever that looks like, thickening our skin. We don't want to look our age. We're not acting our age, right? Like if I look at my mom's generation, my grandmother's generation, at 54, totally different. So we want our skin to match.
Totally. Do you remember seeing that photo of J-Lo after she did Super Bowl? And it was like, this is J-Lo at 50 versus like our mums at 50.
Exactly.
And it was like two completely different realities.
It's a new norm. It's a new norm. And that's, from my point of view, it's fantastic. So we need to embrace that, but we want our skin to look like that too. Like we don't want to give that to give us away.
Yeah. And you hit such a great point earlier too, where you said like that the line is highly customizable. You don't have to stick to just one line. Like the experts are there at ICLS that can really pick and choose from a bunch of different lines that you have. And me, even though I'm, clearly working at SkinCeuticals, I customize my products too. Like I'm a huge fan of La Roche-Posay and other lines to work into a routine. So it doesn't have to be just one brand. It can be a wide array.
It is. And it's also, it's important to understand that the brands that you're getting in the office are, some of them are very mild and it can be the same as you can get at Shoppers, because not everybody needs everything, but we have such a vast amount of product that is medical grade only. And okay, so I'm going to go back again to not being good at being a girl, because one of my favorite things is for anybody like me, or I'm going to put myself with the guys in this category, who don't like fuss. They're not good at 3 different tubes and stuff like that. We have customizable products where we can put your prevent, correct, cleanse, not your cleanse maybe so much, but your prevention, your correction, and your protection in one bottle. But make it you. Tell me about dose.
All right. Well, that is a bottle of what custom dose looks like. And ICLS, you guys were one of the first people in the country to have custom dose, which is really, it's a robot that sits there in clinic and is able to manufacture a skincare serum that would be as of the same quality that you would expect from the L'Oreal laboratories. So very high quality, customized to your specific skin concern, sensitivity level, and what you really are desiring to treat. So you're right, Dr. K, like this is an excellent way to simplify somebody's routine, because there's so much correction that can go just into one bottle of custom dose.
And that's really key. The key is, though, it's being made for you. It's not that it's custom dose, you just get to watch it. It's about, here are your skincare concerns, this is what we recommend, and we can formulate it and mix it in front of you for you. And that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, you got it. That's exactly it.
So we can get the guys, if you want one product only, okay, other than your sunscreen on top of that, but other than that, this can do that for you and keep it simple, simple, simple. So that's always a great thing, if you ask me. And I like it simple.
It also has the instructions that are printed out right on the bottle. So for anybody that might be, starting out skincare and they're uncertain of the steps or the order of application, the bottle is really foolproof because it details exactly how to use it right on the bottle, which not a lot of products say.
Well, it also has your name on it, so you know it's yours, so you don't have to share it. But that's a good point you brought up, because Chloe, I did see a question earlier. Somebody was saying about Retin-A. How do I incorporate Retin-A, or what Retin-A's do you recommend? Do you want to go a little bit about how you ramped yourself up a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can customize your application of retinol within the skin. And if you're like me and you're a first-time user and you're really using the social distancing time to do a retinol challenge with the peeling and the flaking that can come with it, there's a couple ways that you can customize your retinol application. So the first way that you can do it, and this is if you really want to do the biggest bang for your buck, you would apply retinol right on clean skin. Just leave it right like that. But that will give you the most amount of side effects if you're a first-time user. So step number 1, you could do retinol on clean skin. Number 2, how you can do it.
We shouldn't forget also that there are different levels of retinol. Totally. So if you've never used it before, start with the gentler ones. You can start with a 0.05 or a 0.1, but I think if you're at home and you're okay with tolerating it, I'd probably start with a 0.1. Like, there's no point going really, really, really weak.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 different levels here that you can choose from: 0.3, 0.5, and the 1%. The 1% is really strong. It's really strong.
I'm at 0.3, not go up to 1. But yes, like, you get over the counter, you'll only get 0.05. You can't get stronger than that. So you want to start with a little bit stronger if you want to get the results quicker.
Yeah, totally. And if you want to decrease the side effects, then you can get creative with how you mix it. So for instance,
you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, a pea-sized drop of retinol mixed into a cream base. What we would recommend is our triple lipid Restore 242, because it helps to repair the skin barrier, which retinol can sometimes disrupt as you're getting used to it. Pea-sized amount of retinol into a cream like triple lipid can decrease the side effects, or you can layer it. So retinol on clean skin and then put a cream right on top can also help with those side effects temporarily.
I'm going to give another tip. Never waste it. Put it on your neck.
Yes. You know what I found? Maybe
don't waste it.
I have found that the neck is actually more sensitive than the face, at least on me personally.
It is always. Like, even if you look at lasers, there are lasers I can do on the face, but I can't do it on the neck. So use it at the end on your neck when it's almost done. And it doesn't need, don't put more product on your hand. Just kind of use the leftovers on your hand on your neck. So be careful, don't go crazy, but don't waste it either.
But you're bringing up something that's so popular at the moment. Like, have you heard what people are nicknaming those bands across the neck right now?
No, you've got to tell me.
Tech neck.
Tech neck.
Tech neck. Like, from looking down at your phone all the time, they're saying that that's what's causing the band. So it's like this new trend that's coming up, this tech neck. And to your point, so many people are now starting to apply their retinols or their anti-wrinkle creams down to the neck area.
Always do it. Don't waste it. Yeah, and there's lots more we can do with not that I used to call it tech neck, but we can inject those. We use different products for gentle injection there. You've got to be very careful in those necklines. Again, the anatomy is complex and the skin is very sensitive, but there are a lot of things that we can do to improve those with injectables, with some of the very gentle lasers, fractionated lasers. We can improve that all the way down even to the décolletage. So that's really, really exciting. So that's a good thing to think about as well. Again, it goes back to treat and maintain with what you're doing at home. And if you're mild, move your screen up, prevent the tech neck. If you've already got it, come in, we'll help you with that a little bit, and then add your product on top of that to maintain that result.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
You know, it's funny, we talk about maintenance and we talk about facelifts, even facelifts. Every facelift, I tell the exact same thing. With surgery, I can remove skin, I can tighten muscle, I can add fat, I can do all of that. But the surgery itself won't change the quality of skin. So getting on a good skin regime is never, ever, ever a waste. And I think the earlier we do it, the better it is for us, because we're doing the prevention on a daily basis.
Definitely, you know, and we kind of have a saying where we always want the paint job to match the beautiful nose job, right? Like, you need to have that beautiful skin to complement the beautiful surgeries that are being performed.
Right.
For the best possible.
It's a good combination. It's definitely, we want to have I always say it's like little things, adding little things. Sometimes you can do a littler surgery, don't even do a facelift, and add on to that some lasers for face tone, skin tone, and texture, and then add on it skincare. And you kind of get 1 + 1 + 1 = 4 instead of 3. So you get that like synergistic effect. And that's what I really, really love, is when we can do that.
Definitely.
Well, if anybody has any more questions, please shoot us some quick questions. Chloe, it's been so good. We're missing you here.
We're missing seeing you guys for sure.
We're definitely missing you here. We're looking forward to hopefully things opening soon. But as we said earlier, virtual consults are available even for skincare. We've got them, derm consults, plastics consults. You can do any of those virtually now. We are here for you, and you can order product online, or you can call into the office, and we have curbside pickup, no contact pickup, so we can make sure we get you what you need so you don't run out. And if you need us, you know where to find us. We're always here to take care of our patients. We never go too far, and we're really looking forward to seeing you. Stay safe, stay strong, stay socially distant, and